All right, you know what it is, man. Versatile vigilante, young Vince out here doing our thing again. Before I get into it, I want to shout out the homie Karima, man. Look at this painting she put together for me at Toronto Skyline. You got the CN Tower there. You got a trippy octopus on the right. Crazy sunset. I love this painting. Shout out to Karima if you need some stuff, some creative fusion. You hit her up. She'll get that together for you. But let me get into it, man. What I want to talk about today, long-term living, bro, and not some long-term care home shit. I'm talking about long-term prosperity, long-term what I think will lead to long-term success. And it's a loaded topic, and it's kind of crazy to talk about because I'm not there yet, and only time will tell to see how this goes. But in my opinion, this is some shit that I've been thinking about. Um, some ways to get there, man. Some ways to live a really prosperous life, a life where you're satisfied, a life where you've done some really good things, and just kind of go from there. So the first thing I want to touch on, bro, in my opinion, to live a long-term life, a long-term successful, full-fledged life, we need that consistency. Consistency, bro. Consistency is key. We've heard that for our whole lives. And it's so funny because it seems like such a simple thing to do. Like just keep doing it, you'll get better. But it's so tricky because the pace is very slow. Like consistency requires, at least for me, like I'm not naturally good at anything. So I need some time to improve at whatever I do. What that means is I need to continually do some shit that I'm not very good at with the hope of getting better. And the reason I think it's so important to keep that in mind, the better you get at something, the more comfortable you are to try something new. If you don't become consistent with good shit, I don't think you can find good things to deal with. If you're consistently just focusing on nonsense, I think that'll bring you nonsense. If you're consistent with putting pieces together, slowly trying to improve, I think that's when good things happen, man. And I don't know, I've had some things like that happen for me where the times when I'm feeling like, oh man, nothing's going right, nothing goes right. But the times when I say, man, this is kind of a cool thing, a couple really interesting scenarios pop up that were kind of out of the blue. And I feel like that's comes from just consistency, from doing your thing, continuing to try and improve at something. It's that work and that effort is what earns you stripes. I feel if you earn your stripes by consistently putting the time in, putting the effort in, that success that comes from it is yours. No one can take that away from you. No one can say shit about it. When you put that work in, you lay that foundation, and even on those days when it's fucking seemingly impossible, you keep trying, you keep coming back. I think that's really commendable, man. And I think that's a really good sign of someone who's going to make some shit happen. Some really good things happen. Um, like it's simple, bro. The more you do it, the better you get, and then the better you are at other things too, because you sharpen these skills. You sharpen these skills, you became better than you once were, and you're able to do different things now. And a lot of fun can come from that, and a lot of freedom can come from that because you learn more about yourself. So consistency is a huge factor when I think talking about success. Anyone who I've seen that's a life, and success is hard to define. I'll say that. Everyone's definition of success is a little different. But for my personal definitions of success, when I see different role models that I've had in my lives, I see that they're always kind of consistently doing their thing, trying their best, not knowing how it's going to go. Consistency doesn't mean you know how that's going to work. It's impossible to know, but consistently putting that effort out there and just not laying down, So I really think it's extremely important. It helps get comfortable, and it leads, consistency leads me to the second point of what I want to go over today. And that's the importance of giving yourself some time to develop. Development's an interesting conversation because I see that a lot of things are rushed. Like a lot of things aren't given the time to develop that they might need. Example I like, and shout out to all my Bears fans out there. I'm a Bears fan. Um, Man, in the NFL right now, there's these teams that are just consistently drafting these young quarterbacks, using them for a couple years, not developing them properly, and then just taking a new quarterback a couple years later. And the Chicago Bears did this with Mitch Trubisky. Like, they traded up the world to get him originally. Couple years go by, they don't know what to do with him because he's not a finished product, and then they just threw him away, you know. And it's a cycle to me, and to me, that's not how you develop a football team, and it's not how you develop a healthy lifestyle, man. Like, good things need time to develop. That seed needs to be planted and then harvested, and all that shit. I don't know the gardening terms, but bro, we need to plant the seed and continue to work on it, because good things take time to prosper. You've heard that phrase, talent needs to blossom, bro. Talent is something that needs to be cultivated. It's not just there. And that's including us. It's not just sports and shit like that. Our own talents, we need to give them time to develop. We need to give ourselves time to work on it and be consistent in developing. When you're able to develop some different types of skills, you're able to do so many different things, and it just brings a lot of confidence. And without confidence, none of this shit's achievable, man. And you know, you look at someone like Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he, going back to sports, Tom Brady, he was someone who was drafted in the 6th round. If you just look at him from the blind perspective, you say 6th round pick, oh, he's not going to be anything. He took some time to develop. He became what he is now, a long-term success story, you know. And who's to have said, oh, Tom Brady, he doesn't have what we need, we throw him away. If that's what New England had done however many years ago, who knows where we'd be right now. But he was given enough time to develop. They saw something in him, and it was a good situation, right? So we're not all going to get the chance to play quarterback, but we all have our own lives, man. We all have our own lives, and we need to give ourselves a chance to develop what we think we want to do. We never will know how it's going to go, because you can't predict the future, bro. As much as you'd want, you can't predict the future, but got to give yourself a chance to succeed. And to do that, I feel like give yourself a chance to develop, you know. And what I want to say about that, man, we're not fast food. Our life's not fast food. Our life isn't some fast food restaurant, bro. Our life is some fine dining. Like, I'm trying to do some fine dining, eat some steak. You know, the fast food shit only gets you so far. That's a short-term hit. That's that stuff that won't take you to where you need to go, bro. It's that long-term, good quality, good cut. You know, that's what we're trying to deal with, long-term success. You know, so with that consistency and that development, combined with the confidence, and the confidence is the last thing I want to touch on. The confidence is something that's been crazy for me to understand, because confidence can waver. Confidence can go from fucking up here and can go to down here in a day. Like, that's one thing I've learned about like just living consistently, like trying different shit. Bro, some days you don't have the best, and other days you're feeling like crazy fire. Real confidence to me is keeping that consistency up. When you just lay down and you quit, nothing's going to come from it, bro. It's that confidence of, okay, this sucks. Let me try it a little bit more. And you know what? When you keep it up, you get better. That's how I see it, man. The confidence, when you have that confidence, things are more fun. Things are a little more easy to do. You can accomplish different things. So all this stuff kind of goes hand in hand, man. It's not confidence that you know how things will end up. That's not what it is. It's not confident like, oh, I'm going to do this and it's going to work. But it's confidence that you trust your gut, trust your vision, and you're running with it. No matter what happens, I have an idea of what I'm going to do. Let's do it, bro. That's different from, fuck, I don't know if it's going to work, so I'm not going to do it. To me, that doesn't lead to long-term success. To me, that's putting yourself in a ditch, you know? And understanding, bro, that confidence wavers every day. I think that happens for everybody. We see on celebrities and movies and all this shit, oh, confidence, but I don't think they talk to you about how some days you're not feeling confident. But that's where the consistency comes into play. If you're consistently putting that effort in, the confidence will, maybe it's gone one day, it's gonna come back. As long as you don't end the shit, bro. As long as you don't continue to just not get back up and not ride that wave. You know, things happen, crazy shit happens, but if you give yourself that time to develop, I don't know. I think we're gonna get somewhere, man. So I don't know, man. That was a ramble. It was, I think, important to talk about because all the things I talked about today, consistency, development, confidence, they're all really tricky to find because some days you don't have one, some days you don't have the other. Some days you're like, what's this consistency? It's not bringing me anywhere. This it's such a slow process. What's the point of this? That's the trick, I think. The days when nothing, when you feel like it's not really paying off, that's the work you're putting in. You're writing your story, like you're writing your movie plot, whatever it is. Those days where you're feeling like, fuck, what am I doing here? It feels like work, like is this tedious? That's making you better. That's making you stronger. You know, it's those days where you're grinding. That's the hustle, man. It's the process. It's not the result. And I talk to people about this, and I feel like you either understand it or you don't. And if anyone understands what I'm talking about, shout out to you. Because it's just some shit I wanted to talk about, bro. I know it's not going to hit for everybody, and that's okay, but I think it's a relevant discussion to be had because, you know, we don't want to just spin out and crash, man. I don't, at least. I don't want to just go all in right now. I want to figure this shit out in the long run. I want to build a dynasty. You know, I don't want to trade all my shit to get one thing right now. I don't want to cash all my chips in. I want to build. I want to build from the bottom and grow. You know, and to do that, I think it takes a long ass time and steps can't be skipped and it gets crazy. Like you're doing things that you don't know how it will work, but I just feel like if you stay at it, I think it will happen, man. And there's enough examples of it in the world, and I have enough examples personally that I look at, you know. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. It's a very personal process. We're all kind of on our own shit. We got to do it ourselves, and I think there's a lot of fun to be had with that because you learn a lot about yourselves, man. A lot of experiences can be gained. A lot of fun can be had. I think it's going to be fire. So that pretty much covers it, man. That's more or less what I wanted to talk about. I checked my fucking notes here, and they're all wild. But I think I pretty much covered what I want to talk about. You know, the stronger you get, the more effort you put in, more freedom you have, more fun you have. That's what I think to summarize. So shout out to everybody. Shout out Karima for the painting. Movie recommendation for today is called Croupier. It's on Netflix, starring Clive Owen. Croupier, that means like casino dealer, like blackjack dealer. He plays that, and the movie kind of follows him around. Really cool fucking movie if you're looking for something to watch. After you finish watching my shit, check that out. That's pretty much it, man. Got a lot of cool stuff on the way. I'm very excited about that. Think this was a good episode. We're out here. Shout out to you. I love all my fucking Guma gang, man. Shout out to you guys.